Greta Thunberg, Time Magazine's Person of the Year, and the first openly autistic person to receive this. And I wanted to talk about this today because I think it's quite significant. So here we go. Well, hello indie people, and if you're brand new to my channel, I make weekly videos about being autistic from my experiences, talking about the world of autism generally. So if that sounds interesting to you, click the subscribe button, click the notification bell. It just lets you know when I upload to the channel. So Greta Thunberg, as of last week, became Time Magazine's Person of the Year. Now, if you don't know anything about Time Magazine and the Person of the Year, it's been a thing for years. And basically, Time Magazine picks a pivotal person that has made an impact on the world in that year. And for 2019's Person of the Year, they went with Greta Thunberg, who is an environmental activist from Sweden, but also she's mentioned in a few articles as well that she has Aspergers, which is a form of autism. It comes under the term of autism spectrum conditions. Aspergers was a standalone condition until it was amalgamated with autism spectrum conditions when the DSM-5 was introduced. So if you hear me say Greta is autistic instead of she has Asperger's, Asperger's and autism are pretty much the same thing. Don't hate on me if you disagree with me. That's just how I view it. That's just my own personal opinion. But anyway, we're not here to talk about labels. We're here to talk about Greta Thunberg and how significant being the Person of the Year by Time Magazine is. Because to my understanding, Greta Thunberg is the first openly autistic person. Not just the first openly autistic female, but the first openly autistic person ever to be named as Time Magazine's Person of the Year. For me as an autistic person, I'm only talking about myself here. I can't speak on behalf of the autism community, individual autistic people, because that's not fair. But for me, when it comes to Greta Thunberg, I think she is an inspirational young woman because she is really hyper-focusing on her interests and her obsession about making a difference in the world, which for Greta is talking about climate change and the impact that we as a society are having on the globe. Now, I cannot say that I know everything about global warming or the environment. I'm not the sort of person that knows about this stuff, so I'm not going to go into that because it would be really ignorant of me to do so. But generally, from an outsider's point of view, when it comes to this stuff and the type of activism that she is doing, you know, she's a really inspirational young woman. You know, she's doing a lot for someone who is young. And for myself, an adult who is autistic, 27, you know, I wish growing up I had a role model like Greta Thunberg, you know, someone who has taken their interest, their obsession, which autistic people can have intense obsessions and interests. You know, she's taken something that she deeply cares about and she's stepped it up, and you know, a load of people are rallying around her. Greta being nominated, being named as Person of the Year, you know, because of her activism is a great thing. You know, whether you agree with it, whether you disagree with it, you can't not say that she's had an impact on the world in some way, whether you think it's positive or negative. It's personally nice for me as an autistic person to see someone be positive about their autism, because when I was growing up, I never thought of my autism personally as something to be proud of or, you know, something to celebrate. When I was at school, it wasn't something that was really talked about as much as it is now. It's not, it was never something that was seen in the best of lights from what I remember. So the fact that someone who is younger than me and she talks about her Asperger's, her autism in such a way that it's a part of her identity and she is just proud of who she is, it's an amazing thing to witness. It's an amazing thing to experience. For me, as someone on the spectrum, it's just endearing. But when it comes to people talking about her online, there's obviously a lot of things, people not agreeing with the fact that climate change exists. Now, I'm not a climate change expert, but you can obviously see things are changing in the weather, so I'm just going to leave that there. But when it comes to Greta herself, people have talked about how she's very monotone, you know, she's very brutal with how she delivers herself. That's a part of who she is. That's kind of how Aspergers and autism presents sometimes in some people. You know, some people are really blunt and some people talk in a very monotone way. I do worry about her welfare from an autism point of view because she's putting herself out there quite a lot for the thing that she loves to do. Even watching her in the UN summit when she was giving that speech, it was hard to watch. Not because I don't think she was doing anything bad. I think she was, you know, saying her truth. She was speaking her truth. But for me, when it comes to putting all of yourself into something from an autism point of view, for me, it drains me, you know, when I put all of myself into something. And I just worry as an outsider that her activism work, you know, people being critical of her online is just gonna lead her to being burnt out and, you know, go into like a depressive state, which could be burnout in a sense. I did make a video about that if you want to know a little bit more about autism burnout. But yeah, I do worry about Greta in that sense. I really, really do. And I think that's a justified reason to be concerned from an autism point of view, you know? But when it comes to me personally, you might agree with me, you might disagree with me. I'm not really bothered. This is just me giving my opinion. She's my person of the year, purely based on the fact she's a role model for autistic people and for kids especially. Like, for me, if I was growing up now as a kid and seeing someone who was like me doing all the things that she is doing, then, you know, I would be proud of who I was if I was a kid growing up now. But also with this Time magazine Person of the Year title that she's got, I think it kind of just shows people on the spectrum that, you know, if you've got something that you love and have a deep passion for, you know, you can take it anywhere, you know, if you work hard enough and you have the passion and the drive. And also news like this showing how great autistic people are, especially when they have an interest and they're doing the thing that they love to do. It's such a positive thing, and it's just really nice for a change, seeing something positive about autism. That's my view. What is yours? Leave your comments down below because I'm sure a lot of people will have a lot to say. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like for me down below. Check out my other videos if you want to see a bit more. But for now, stay you, stay indie. I hope you have a great day and I hope to see you next time.